housed a deep-sea submersible hardened to withstand the steel-crushing water pressure at depths of greater than 8,000 meters. In his 5 years of captaining the Dragon, Li Jie had used the two-man mini-sub to tap undersea fiber-optic lines, install surveillance devices in enemy ports, monitor undersea weapons tests, and in one case, still discussed in the hushed tones the exploit deserved, beacon an American Ohio-class boomer submarine. Still, as impressive as these exploits might be, they were but footnotes to the mission the mini-sub had just undertaken, a mission so secretive that for the first time in Li Jie's tenure aboard the Dragon, the crew had been joined by a platoon of men commanded by a single woman. Armed men. If the hard-looking warriors had hailed from the People's Liberation Army Navy Marine Corps, Li Jie would have still been uneasy, but not terrified. The Marine Corps' Jiaolong Commando Unit, or Sea Dragons, were easily recognizable in their black uniforms and were often tasked to guard Chinese vessels from pirates. But the 20 men now crowding Li Jie's berthing with their assortment of weapons and gear did not hail from any branch of the military. Instead, they were a detachment from a private security company known only by the English initials HAZ. The men were mercenaries, killers for hire. And while Li Jie and his crew had performed what at first blush had been deemed an impossible mission with the ease and professionalism for which they'd become known, the operation was not yet complete. As the woman with the quiet voice had made clear, until the Dragon was safely back in harbor and the contents of the ship's vault transferred ashore, Li Jie and his crew were on war footing. "Have they seen us?" the woman said, her quiet voice the whisper of steel on leather. Li Jie paused, considering his answer. While his years of clandestine service had taught him the need for secrecy, at his core, Li Jie was still a sailor, and the thought of being caught powerless in a typhoon's path was the stuff of nightmares. And yet, at the end of the day, a nightmare was still just a dream, while the woman and her contingent of killers were very much a reality. "I don't know," Li Jie said as another wave crashed over the Dragon's bow. For a moment, the frothing water blurred the windshield, washing away the image of the stricken ship. Then the laboring windshield wipers did their work, and the fishing trawler returned. "We're jamming across the electromagnetic spectrum as per your instructions, but we've detected no RF energy emitting from the trawler. If she has a radar, she isn't using it, and her radios seem to be down as well. Could be that she's a ghost ship. Either way, without enough power for steerage, she won't last long in this storm." The last sentence filled Li Jie with a sense of trepidation, but he added it nonetheless. He was a third-generation sailor and would always be the boy who'd learned about the sea while working alongside his fisherman father. Seeing the lifeless trawler wallowing in the waves clawed at his soul in a way that a non-sailor could never understand. In that moment, the ghost vessel wasn't a Vietnamese-flagged ship. Instead, it represented his uncle and father, desperately trying to bring the engines online before the South China Sea claimed another victim. The slight woman with the bone-white hair and the power of life and death in her soft voice tapped long, elegant fingers on the faux wood dashboard. Her emotionless eyes tracked the ailing trawler. She'd begun to speak when a signal light flashed from the trawler's bridge, interrupting her. "Engines disabled. Taking on water. Need assistance. Urgent." As heartbreaking as the plea was, Li Jie didn't bother translating the flashes for the woman. The fishermen had just sealed their fate. Indeed, the slight woman was already speaking into the small radio she kept fastened to her belt. The radio that linked her to the hulking, scar-faced warrior who commanded the mercenary contingent.